there's a lot of opportunity for screenwriters, but there's also a lot of competition.
Yeah, it's easy to get lost, just for the reason you're talking about. And one of the things that when I talk to students, I consult with writers, it's really about how do you find a voice that is going to attract attention? How do you find a voice that's unique to you and has a quality to the work that's undeniable?
Right, exactly.
And those are the things that you have to really focus on when you're starting in the craft.
Now, is the creative process for you different when you're working in TV rather than in film?
There are different pressures when you're in TV. You have a time crunch that you don't have as a feature writer, unless you're hired to write, a film for a studio. And even then, there's flexibility. With television, particularly if you're writing sitcoms, it's, you write, you got a script to write. It's due. It's like the one, on Hercules. Thursday, we need it Monday. And then it's not that fast, but they, you have to be able to perform under pressure, and you have to be able to get the scripts out quickly in television. That's important. But ultimately, and even now, it's more about quality. How good is it? How much do people want to see that episode? How much do people want to, what did you bring to the table in terms of the character voices, in terms of, a kind of a new take on what we've been doing? And particularly in television, when I was coming up, you wrote a spec script of a show,
right?
And then you didn't give that to the show that you wrote because they wouldn't look at it. You gave it to somebody else, and they looked at it and go, "Oh, this is great." And you got a gig off of that. Now, most shows are not really interested in looking at specs as much as pilots, and certainly the representation out there, much more interested in seeing somebody with original work. The problem with that from a showrunner's perspective is if you write an original piece of material and I'm looking at you as a staff writer on my show, is can you really capture the purview and the characters and the voices and, get the essence of my show? You can do your thing, great, but can you do mine? And that's where the idea of having a spec sample is also a great idea. And I always recommend that if you're going to do that, have a pilot and have a spec. Find a show that you love, do a spec episode.